So first of all, about who we are an agency, marketing agency based in Poznań in Poland, and we are on the market for over 20 years, and if I'm correct, this year going to be our 25th anniversary. So we had time to did really a lot of projects, about over 300. And during the time we had over 100 customers. So it means that they trust us and we had a lot of time to do some progress, which is great. And thanks to that, gamification is becoming or even became one of our key part of our business. And it's a great thing. And also, I would say that sometimes we do projects with just a simple little bit of gamification, and sometimes we have the possibility to really play with the project, play with our client, and do something really great. And we are very glad that, for example, our clients are really more open about gamification stuff. So it's really great. But we should get to the point, at least I think so, that the education is boring. It may be a bit bold statement, but maybe at least in Poland, but it's mostly because we are relying on for example, here in Poland, our educational system is based about ideas that were made in the 19th century, so it's very, very old. We rarely use any technology, and even if we use technology, those are like typical boring e-learnings, and they're kind of obsolete, at least in my opinion, because if you see even some e-learning, but those are 30 slides packed with text, it's just the same as reading some boring textbooks. It's not innovative. And if when we are young, we learn at school, which is normal, of course, but when we are adult, work somewhere, when we have to sell some products, it's kind of tougher to get some knowledge product about how to sell the product. So what is the place that you get this knowledge? And it's very important that employees should know about some products that they are offering, that they are selling and stuff like that. And also the most important part is that for example, if you receive some negative grade at school, so if you fail at school, it becomes a problem. You may have a problem, especially later. And if you fail at game, it's everything is all right, because like games are encouraging us to make fails, because we are learning through some experience. So it's good to fail. It's good to be wrong. And we wanted to use that statement in our projects. So, as we said, education boring, but it's kind of essential. It's a very important part of any project that we are making for our client. And as Roman Rakwitz said, and he said that in 2009, I remember that correctly, that our brains just seek for any patterns. Sometimes gamified solutions are becoming those patterns, and they're helping our brains to get some knowledge, to learn something new, and to work better in the future. So it's very, very important. That's why we decided to gamify the whole education process. Because, as I said, knowledge helps to bring new products, to sell them, to sell certain type of products. Also, if any salesman, any employee has a certain knowledge about products and so on, he's more liked by customers, so it's also important. And every thing we do in controlled environment, controlled of course by us, where you have some bit of fun, some bit of education, and of course the most important part, feedback. And that gives you the second important thing, motivation, of course. So it's mostly, in our opinion, mostly about progress and fun, joining those two things together. Because now most of us at least know games, and a lot of us play games, so it's kind of easier to implement gamified solutions into our projects. Because it's very easy to people to catch up and to know what they're dealing with. So going further, if you see progress while playing a game, it keeps you motivated. You see that the things that you're doing are doing great. So it's also important. And when you have fun, you're not even realizing that you're learning, or even multitasking or something like that. So it's also great. And as I said before, you receive a lot of motivation to go further, to play, to learn, or to do anything. And because of that, we developed a mobile and desktop educational game, which is called Level.Up. And it's a term strictly from games. And our game is based on the micro-learning method. So we provide really small portions of knowledge to users, just let's say Twitter-like. And the game, and it's the most important part of our product, the game rewards commitment. By that I mean, if you make a mistake during playing our game, you will receive points, you will be rewarded because it's okay to fail. It's good to be wrong, because next time when you see this question or ask or anything, you will remember that you made a mistake and now you will do it in a correct way. Of course, we provide experience bar, we provide the visibility of your progress, instant feedback, and we developed a new module by that I mean knowledge duels between players, and also we developed some achievements which also are kind of fun. So we did that project for the Goodyear tire company, and it was called Good Game. So we started in 4 countries, and now the game is held in almost 20 European countries, and it lasts for like 8 weeks. And now we had, as far as I remember, the 5th edition of this game, and players, users, the salespeople of tires of it, they really appreciate the game because it's not so time-consuming. You need only about 7 minutes daily to play our game. So it's a great thing, especially in terms of our attention span getting shorter. It's a different problem that we are dealing with. And of our users, and we had really a lot of users from, as I said, those countries, it was 1,000 as far as I remember. 65% were active users from start to end of the game, and 92% of those players, they received a certificate, which is kind of a prize for the game, and also it's a proof that you gained some new knowledge, you had some new skills, and it's a thing that customer may see if they come to that shop. And we started with a very, very basic way of rewarding people. So you received 2 points for correct answer, 1 point for wrong answer, because, hey, at least you tried, which is very important. And you received negative points, minus points, if you didn't play. So it was kind of easy for us, and we wanted to encourage people to play and to reward for any level of commitment. And during the game, you got 3 levels with higher points rewards and with better certificates. And also, the kind of important thing is that aside from certificates, the best players received really small prizes, like I would even say gadgets, like t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. So it wasn't a huge game for some golden trophy. And yet people appreciated it, people liked it, and it was very important for us. And during this year's edition in January, we implemented knowledge duels between users. It was kind of new for us, but we really liked it. And we received very, very positive feedback that the players, the users, they didn't have to face a, let's say, computer, but instead of that, they were dealing with another human being from the same branch. So it was really great. And also it was quite challenging for our IT department, but yet we handled it really perfectly. We implemented achievements for progress, for example, for having like 5 positive answers for some questions, for some winning some duels or something like that. And also we increased the amount of levels during the game. And also we provided custom avatars that players could choose from some preset, some avatars that showed them how they look. So it was also a good experience for us because the same our players were very happy that they can play with the new version of the old game. So we changed a bit of rules, but the basics are the same. So we stayed with small knowledge portions for receiving points, even for wrong answers, because it's in our opinion, it was the most important part of our game. And now we're trying to develop something completely new with a new interface, with probably new and more achievements, maybe some new features, maybe some different than knowledge duel. And we want to implement more fun and to receive, of course, new clients. But honestly speaking, we still want to stay on that rule that you're being rewarded for your commitment, because we don't want to be like school where you have problems after receiving something negative. We want to provide you with a great feedback and giving you some nice knowledge and encouraging you to making mistakes, because as a lot of my pre-speakers said, it's okay to make mistake, it's okay to fail, but you have to know how to fail, why you failed, and you have to know what to do not to fail in the future. And it's also very challenging and important for us, but we hope that in the future it's going to be only better, and we're going to maybe do something worldwide. And well, that's all. So thank you for listening, and I hope that maybe you have some questions.
Hello, what a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Wojtek. And again, for anybody who's been listening to that, I'm sure many of us were nodding in agreement, maybe remembering our own school days and thinking, yeah, so glad somebody has readdressed the education system. And so I'm just going to ask a question here, partly based on my experience, because I have created a fully gamified curriculum for young people to encourage entrepreneurship. And what I found in a group of these 14 young people is that you always get one or two a little bit quiet who seem a bit withdrawn from the gamification experience. And of course, as a designer, we want to make sure that we're engaging everybody as much as we can. So how have you been able to do things like that in this project, or generally in your professional career, where you've created a design that engages the majority of people, but there's one or two that don't seem to be that engaged? How have you tried to overcome those kind of things when they happen?
Well, of course, yeah, that's true. It happens sometimes, but we see that some persons weren't engaged, so we can contact with them. We can contact with them via mail, text message, sometimes push in app, or we can even call them and speak to them. Why you don't play? Maybe we can change something for you, what we can do for you, and stuff like that. And also, mostly, always the end of our projects, we are making a short survey, and we are asking users what was their experience, and even if they didn't play, we're asking them why they didn't play. So we try to pick those examples, and we are trying to contact them directly, because people like it when you call to some person, and this person really feels that it's important, that the person is important for us, and we want to make them feel important.
Right. So yeah, the personal touch makes them feel really valued as part of the experience. And I think we're hearing that a lot throughout the day today, that the personal touch and coming to our projects with empathy and the importance of feedback to improve our designs, to improve the engagement, is a real big theme for today. We've got a question from the audience here. So we've got Adam, who's asked, were you able to draw any conclusions from the data about opinions on failure as they played the game from onboarding to mastery?
Well, we had some certain group of people that made a lot of mistakes during the beginning, but they mastered, as the question says, they mastered themselves. And to be honest, the people were quite happy because they told us that they were able to see their mistakes. It's very important that our game shows you where you made a mistake, why you made a mistake, and what you can do to correct yourself. So our conclusion is from the data that it really helps. And if we have, let's say, a 4th or 5th edition of our game, we see that there are more and more, especially among veterans, more and more skilled people. So we have to make the game harder and harder for those.
Right, yeah, get that ratio right for those who need more challenges. We've got a question here from Victoria, who has started off who's saying you on addressing microlearning. What is your opinion on the advantage microlearning versus macrolearning? Again, I think may have meant macrolearning and microlearning. All terms of the use of gamification for these.
Yeah, I would say that microlearning is great if you have really nice written material. Because if you want to, I don't know, educate about something really complicated, long, and really hard stuff, it's good to receive your materials in a nice packed way, shortened. And sometimes it's kind of impossible to tell us about something in a short way. So we are very aware of that. Our microlearning may not work in 100% of cases, but mostly we're able to, let's say, shorten the material to make it really snappy, short, and still to educate people about very important things. Here we were able to manage to do that with tires. We were able also to do that with a bit more complicated things like car mechanics, or as far as I remember, products for agricultural branch. So I would say they, at first glance, they look complicated, yet we were able to make it a bit shorter and a bit easier to understand. So it's both challenging for us and the client, but in that way, it kind of works.
Thank you so much, Wojtek. And we're seeing so many lovely on the chat for you today. So we now end the first part of the conversation and hearing from, and it's time for a thank you, Wojtek. And please